Fifth grade Excel, lesson 95, calculating area and perimeter given coordinates on a coordinate grid, calculating the perimeter of an irregular figure. These are some really tricky problems. I hope you really pay attention to this. You might want to watch the video twice. You might want to back up on certain parts and just watch it over and over again until you understand what's going on. Again, I'm there to help you at school, so if you get stuck on it, if you go through this lesson, you try really hard and you don't get it, then ask me at school so that I can work with you on this in maybe a different way so that you can get it. So the first thing is you need to understand how to find points on a grid, and some of you are still struggling with that, I'm afraid. That this spot right here, D, is at 1, you go over first, 1, 3. That point right there is 1, 3. So we're going to fill this in on point D. What about point A? Go over to 1, up 5 to get to A. So that's point 1, 5. Where's point C? We go over to 4, up 3 for point C. So that's at 4, 3. And where's point B? Over to 4, up to 5. 4, 5. Okay, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and see if you can fill in the points for rectangle RSTU. Turn it back on after you filled those in. Okay, point U, over 7, up 1. That's point U, 7, 1. Point R, over 7, up 6. R, 7, 6. Point T, over 9, up 1 for point T. And S is over 9, up 6. Okay, the length of AB, that's right here, can be calculated by subtracting the x-coordinate of point A, the x of A, from the x-coordinate of B. And the answer to that is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. Let's take a closer look at what they're talking about. You can figure this out, how long this line segment is, by taking the x's from A and B. Here's A, here's B. The x's are right here. The first number is the x. You have a 4 and you have a 1. Well, what's the difference of 4 and 1? 3. That's how long that line segment is. The length of AD can be calculated by subtracting the y-coordinate of point D from the y-coordinate of point A. So AD is right here. How do you find out how long that is? You can take A, here's A again, and D, here's D. Look at the y's. The y's are different. 5 and 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. And we see that's how long that is. You guys have been doing these kind of problems where you figure out the length of line segments before this lesson. So that shouldn't be too hard for you. All right, let's keep moving on. Now, what they want you to do here... let's go back, actually, and see if we can find the length of the segments on this rectangle first before we move on. This can be kind of tricky. Point R right here is at 7, 6, and S is at 9, 6. You can see that the x's are different by 2. So the length of that side would be 2. How about from S to T? Here's S over to T. 9 on both x's. So the y is 1 and 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. The length of that side is equal to 5. Now we're going to try to find the area and the perimeter on these shapes. So it says, what is the area and perimeter of rectangle ABCD? And they show you how to do that. If you know that one side is 3 and the other side is 2, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 square units is the area of that rectangle. How about the perimeter? Well, if one side's 3 and the other one's 2, add all 4 sides together and get 10 units. You're going to do the same thing for rectangle RSTU. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. Okay, the area of this one, it's 2, or you don't have to do it in the same order as I am, but 2 times 5. You can write 5 times 2. That's 10. So we write 10 square units. The perimeter is 2 and 5 and 2 and 5. which is 14 units. Don't write square on that because we're figuring out how long the line is that goes all the way around that shape. Okay, now what you're going to see on your daily work for these is problems that look like this. Okay, and we're going to kind of ignore this for right now just so I can demonstrate how this is done. The coordinates for a rectangle are 3, 2, 7, 2, 7, 5, and 3, 5. These are the four corners of a rectangle on a grid. They ask you what's the area. We're going to actually find out the area and the perimeter because we don't really have too many sample problems for these. So the area of this, what I'm going to have you do on these, instead of trying to draw this shape and label the corners, I found that that's really hard for kids. Here's the easy way to do it. You're going to write down all four corners, one on top of the other. So you're going to write 3, 2, 7, 2, 7, 5, and 3, 5. I want them lined up just like this. Okay, you don't have to draw those lines there, but go ahead and write that on your paper right now. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. Then what you're going to do is figure out the difference on the numbers on the X and the Y. So here we have 3's and 7's in the X's. Well, what's the difference between a 7 and a 3? That's 4. So one side of my rectangle I know is going to be 4. And then over here I've got 2's and 5's on the Y's, and 5 minus 2 is 3. So the length of the other side is 3. It's the easiest way to do this that I've found over the years with kids, so do it that way instead of drawing this picture like this. Now that you know that this rectangle is 4 by 3, the area is easy to find. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. 12 square units. Now what about the perimeter? That would be 4, 3, 4, and 3. So you add all those up, and you get 14. 14 units. I want you to add this onto your paper right here. Right? You can just write PER, perimeter. Okay, I want you to pause the video and do number 3, and I don't want you to just find perimeter. I want you to also find the area of this rectangle that they're describing. Do it the same way that we did right over here. Start with this, and then go ahead and find your perimeter and area once you know the length of each side. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. Okay, the way you should have done this is first lined up all of your things like that. 6 and 3, what's the difference? 3. 2 and 1, the difference is 1. To find the perimeter, 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, and that's equal to 8 units. And of course, to find the area, you just simply do 3 times 1, which is 3. 3 square units. Hopefully you think those are easy now that we've done them like that. All right, here's another type of a problem that we need to learn today, and that's the perimeter of irregular figures when they don't give you all the sides. So instead of reading all this with you, I'm just going to go through it. You can see that this side is 7, this side is 2, this side is 3, and this side is 5. They don't tell you how long this side is, and they don't tell you how long that side is. You can figure out those sides given the other numbers. I'm going to clear this off, make it a little bit easier. So 7 is this side, and can you tell that this piece right here and this piece right here, if you were to slide those down, would be the same as this, the length of this piece. This one would come to right there, and this piece here would fill up the rest of that line. So if this one's 7 and this one's 3, then this one would be the rest of the distance. That part's 3. The rest of the distance to make 7 is 4. The length of that side is 4. Don't just look at the sides and guess how long they are. You need to use the method that I'm showing to you right now. Okay, let's take a look at the other side. This one's 5 right here. So this one we know is already 2. How long would that side be? Well, if that one's 5 and that one's 2, this one would be 3. Now we have all the sides labeled, and now we can find the perimeter or the area of the shape. And they show you right here how to do what I just did with you. Okay, so those are all the steps to find the perimeter. You just add up all the sides of the irregular shape to get the total perimeter that is 24. Okay, then I want you to find the perimeter and the of this irregular figure. I want you to find the perimeter and the area. I need to teach you how to find the area. Let's add that on. What you're going to do to find the area, I'm going to give you some hints right now, and then you're going to pause the video and try it yourself. you're going to chop this this irregular shape into two rectangles. You can cut it right there, or there's two ways that you can cut this to end up with two rectangles. You can kind of cut it right there. Either way that you do it, I'll leave it that way for right now. You find the area of one rectangle and add it to the area of the other rectangle. You should know what the dimensions of this rectangle are. Hint. You should know what the dimensions of this rectangle are. Find the area, add them together to get the total area of the shape. So go ahead and pause the video now. Turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. All right, so we know that this bottom piece is 5 and that one's 3, so the one opposite of it would be 8. And then this side is 9, this side is 5, so we know this side over here is going to be 4 because 5 plus 4 makes 9. And they ask you over here what's the length of QR. You should have filled in 8 or 8 units. And then RS right here, you should have filled in 4 units. And then the perimeter of the shape is adding all the sides together. I'm just going to start there, 9, 5, work my way around, 5, 3. Don't forget any of the numbers, that's the hard part here. And 8. And when you add all those together, you should get 34. 34 units for the perimeter. And then on area, we had it split this way right here. The area of this is 5 and 9, that's 45, because 5 times 9 is 45, 3 times 4 is 12, 45 plus 12 is 57. 57 square units. Okay, if that one was hard for you, don't worry, you're going to have more chances, but hopefully you're getting the idea there. So, thanks for watching.